My name is Alex Benson. I studied journalism with a minor in visual communication. I was a transfer student, so I spent a year at City College back home in Sacramento, California, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Looked at schools in the Midwest and a couple on the West Coast, but I knew I kind of wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and I really liked that Loyola had its own campus that was still in the city but kind of in a neighborhood, and I also liked that the School of Communication was new and had these new facilities to work in, so that kind of excited me and made me think like, hey, maybe I'll have a little more progressive education because it's so new and they'll have new things to work with and new things to show me. It's kind of weird because I'm actually dyslexic, so I never learned how to spell very well, and I didn't learn how to read like really strong on my own until like the 5th or 6th grade. But I always grew up around newspapers. My dad gets 3 newspapers a day, so I always liked the news and kind of writing, but I always had a difficult time with it. It got a lot easier in high school, and one of my dad's employees, my dad has his own business, and his employee started freelancing for a local paper in Sacramento, and they said they needed interns, and he told me I should look into it. So then that led into another internship, and I was like, hey, this is something I really like, maybe I should pursue this. So I really enjoyed the education I got in the School of Communication. I liked how they had an emphasis on actually doing what you're learning and not just learning about it and kind of regurgitating it in papers and tests, but actually creating things with the skills you've learned. I think the best word for it is fun. It was like, didn't really feel like I was learning a whole lot. It was like, well, I was learning a lot, but didn't feel like learning because I was doing all these really cool things. So as a student, I gave tours on campus, but I really enjoyed my tour guide job a lot, and I knew that some tour guides are hired as admission counselors later, and that this job really combined a lot of the different things I liked about communication into one. But I do a great deal of the things I learned in the classroom on a day-to-day basis, managing different blogs for prospective students to read. That stuff I learned about in Patty Lamberti's web writing class, managing like the Facebook account, helping out with Twitter, also just kind of doing like different marketing stuff around the office, looking at numbers, and also just having good interpersonal communication skills, stuff that I learned about in some of my foundational communication courses and in some of my like interviewing courses, learning how to talk to people and ask good questions and get good information, and it's all kind of blending into one.